I had to jump off. I forgot I had another meeting and they were calling me in. So I thought I'd join back in here again, going live here. So again, I've got Restream in front of me and TikTok off to the side of me. So let me know where you're joining from. Say hello if you're on TikTok, send some hearts so that I know you're here. And yeah, keep me posted on where you're at. And again, I want to see your engagement. So if it's possible for you to type in chats, hopefully I can see it okay. And I'll be able to answer your questions here and stay focused on a topic. So picking up where I left off, let me know where you're joining from if you're just joining in. Picking up where we left off earlier, we were talking about digital marketing and why I chose to really hone in and focus on that for an additional revenue stream. And the biggest reason for me to dive in for that added revenue stream is that I've always worked the 9 to 5. I've always tried to find other ways to make money so I could have a better lifestyle. And not really when I was younger understanding what that better lifestyle would be and what it would look like, I tried multiple different things to be able to earn extra cash so that I could have a better lifestyle. Not realizing when I was younger that a lot of that extra income at that time would have gone towards like paying down debts and stuff, things to have a better lifestyle. So maybe a better home, a better vehicle, because at the time I didn't have any kids. But once I had my child, everything changed. All the focus changed. As you're joining, let me know where you're joining from. We're talking about earning extra cash online and the why, and that the biggest why is time. Time is one thing we cannot get back. And when I had my child, everything refocused because then all of a sudden you have extra worries, extra things that you need to consider you've never considered before. So having kids is a different kettle of fish for a lot of us. Once you have one or more, you have a lot of extra things going on. There's extra expenses, there's extra debts. The kids get involved with extracurricular activities, which are usually expensive, especially nowadays, more now than ever. And that is the most important thing. So, you know, let me know where you're joining from. Let me know if you have any questions around digital marketing and earning extra cash online. And it's all about the time. It's not money. Money buys back your time. It's not about the money. Money will come and go. I lost my job here in late 2023. I can get another job. The thing is, I don't want another job because it sucked so much of my time and it added so much extra stress that it was impacting my relationship with my spouse and with my child. And my child is already struggling with mental illness, like mental challenges. She's been diagnosed with ADD, which almost every kid is an adult now is diagnosed with. But she's been diagnosed with ADD, high social anxiety, and select mutism. So the high social anxiety triggers the select mutism. So if you're wondering what select mutism is, it's when you cannot speak. You're unable to communicate in high levels of stress and anxiety. And it's only been this past year that she's been diagnosed with neurodivergence, which is autism. So as she was slowly getting diagnosed with this stuff, it was helping explain some of the challenges that we were seeing in her, but we never knew what. We just thought she was a quiet, shy kid because my husband's family is quiet and shy. I was quiet and shy when I was a child. Most people don't believe me now, but but I was a quiet, shy kid. And we just thought it was hereditary. We had no idea she was suffering from these challenges. So, being able to have extra cash allows us as parents to have the time freedom to spend with them, to take care of them in a better way than what we ever could if we were working our 9 to 5. And I'll be honest with you, when I was working my 9 to 5, I was not present. I was so stressed because I always had high stress, high demand jobs that I was so stressed that I didn't know what I didn't know. And although I seen her struggling, I was doing the best I could, believing I was doing the best I could. And it wasn't until I was let go in late 2023 and I got my time back that we had a very massive incident, an incident where she was considering taking her own life. Now, I'm not going to dive into that because I'll get upset. But the fact that I was home and I could be present with her was huge. And that was a game changer. Because most parents, like you're just everything is happening so fast, you're not slowing down enough to be present. And I never people said that to me before, and I never understood it until I had my time and I could actually sit with her. I had to sit with her for 3 hours on the couch that day. It took her 2 hours just to calm herself down enough to be able to articulate because she couldn't talk. The select mutism kicked in and she was unable to speak. And it took 2 hours of calming her and coddling her in her late teens at this point before she could tell me that she was feeling this way. And it's because I had my time freedom back that I was able to dive in and start getting her better supports. I was able to dive in and say, what the is going on with my child? And because of that, she ended up getting tested for autism. Now, a lot of you who are dealing with kids that are struggling with mental health, especially in this section of autism, there's a huge backup in our medical system for this. If you're looking to have medical services pay for it in Canada, there's a huge wait list. And when I checked into it for her, it was 7 years here in Alberta, Canada. 7-year wait list to be tested for autism. That is sick, my people. That is so sick because these people are struggling. These people won't last 7 years if we don't get them help and if they don't understand. They're not going to last 7 years. Now, you can pay privately, and this is where the extra cash comes in. You can pay privately and spend up to $2,500 to probably $3,000 here in Alberta. Could be more in other provinces. I don't know what the other provinces are. But here in Alberta, that's what we're looking at, to have private assessment done and have it done within a week or two. There is no wait list if you're paying for it. But not everybody can afford that. So as parents, you're sitting there and you can't afford to have your child properly assessed. The guilt and shame that comes with that is not something you should have to endure, feel, or have to even burden. Having a single form of income, whether you and your spouse are both working, you both have single forms of income, and you're relying solely on your job, I'm here to tell you in this day and age, that's very dangerous because it happened to me. I worked 30 plus years in the industry and never been laid off in my entire life. Never. And I've always done a good job. I've always been the one to kick butt. I'm direct. I'm blunt. Some employers love it. Some employers hate it. They love it when it comes to getting stuff done. They hate it when I'm making them accountable, but that's the risk. And I still say that plays a part in why I was left off or why I was let go, because it was very busy. I was a team of 3 and we helped the company earn over $40 million the year before. And then it got slow. We knew it was going to get slow. We had no idea it was going to get that slow. And we were the highest paid for our titles. And we went after more money because of the amount of money we made the company. We were told, no, this is what our title, we're top paid for our title in this province. And that's all the money we're getting. And I was like, well, give me an extra vacation. Like, give me extra weeks vacation. You're giving some people that have been with the company for 10, 20, 30 years, 4 and 5 weeks. So give me an extra week. Give me 4 weeks vacation. No. So I was told very early on what my value was with that company. So when I was let go, I was actually grateful and glad to be gone because of the high stress and that mentality. Like, they really told me what my value was there. And that's the same for all of you. I don't know if you notice or not, but when you get employed now, you're a number. You're a number in an electronic system. So if they try to tell you your family, ask yourself, are they sitting at your dinner table? Do they come to your home during holidays and sit at your dinner table? Because if the answer is no, then they're not family. They're not family. They don't come sit with you around your fire pit or hang out at the lake or do whatever it is you do. They're not family. They try to tell you that you're family, but you're not family. So I'm looking for, and I want to talk to the parents that are working, that are capped, tapped, and strapped, looking for alternative means to add to their current revenue stream and even possibly replace their current revenue stream. Because it's those people that really need my help. And that's who I'm here to help. I am not wasting my time with anybody who's not motivated and serious. If you want the information on how it all works, that part is free, then dive in and get it. For those of you that are on TikTok, go to my bio. Go to the link in my bio. For those of you that are on Restream here, the website is in my name. It's www.inspiredwithann.com. Get the free copy of the blueprint. We have a free webinar coming up tomorrow. So when you get your blueprint today, you'll have the links to be able to join that free webinar tomorrow. And that's going to go into great detail and a step-by-step how the blueprint works and how you can earn 30K in 90 days. That's how that works. So I'm going to ask you, what would 30K in 90 days do for you? Like, what would 30K in 90 days do for you? And how can that change your life? If you're joining me on TikTok or if you're joining me here on Restream, let me know where you're joining from. I'd love to hear from you. And I'd love to have some engagement and have questions. If you have any questions around what it looks like to earn extra money online, like ask the questions. If I know, I will tell you. If I don't, I'll tell you that I don't know. But I'm not the be all end all. Like, I don't know everything, but I did choose a program that can teach me with ease. I didn't need any past experience. I didn't need tech skills. I didn't need any of that stuff because the program that I'm talking about teaches you everything in a step-by-step process. So it's that simple. Like your teenager, like your preteen teenager could take this course and run a business if they were of legal age. That's how simple it is. And that's how easy they've made it. It's a step-by-step learning platform. It is different from every other platform that I've ever seen because I've paid tens of thousands of dollars over the years. No joke. A lot of money over the years on programs and courses. And nothing has ever included or encompassed as much as this one does. This one allows you the ability to get a $29 pre-built funnel system that is your Freedom Machine. That's your money maker. So for $29, you're getting a pre-built landing page to capture emails. And I talked earlier why the emails are so important, because although these platforms of social media are free and they're great to market on, and I'll use TikTok as an example because that's a great example because people have massive followings on TikTok specifically. So if you're on TikTok and you're highly active on TikTok and you've got 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 or 100,000 followers, TikTok went down in the US. We didn't know for how long. It was back up and running within 24 hours, but nobody knew that was going to happen. So those of you that were doing TikTok shop and marketing your business on TikTok were scrambling. I seen it in my own community. It's like, what do I do next? Well, there's other platforms you could have jumped on, but you'd have to start fresh with all your following again. So having TikTok go down and not knowing it was going to come back in 24 hours, you lost your revenue stream. You lost your avenue to market. And with an email list, when people enter their email to get your free lead magnet, which is for me, the passive daily pay blueprint, you're in my email. And only when you unsubscribe that you leave my email. And when you leave my email, that means, okay, because that means you're not the right customer. It's not for you, and that's okay. But I didn't have to deal with any rejection there because you did it yourself. You got the information and you made a decision, and I didn't have to take on any rejection, which wears you down mentally, emotionally, even physically. If you're actively building a business and you're constantly getting no's, that takes its toll on you. I don't care who you are. It takes its toll on you. And I've done the network marketing. I'm part of an MLM now. I love the company I represent. I love it. It's a beautiful health product. But I do it through attraction marketing that this program taught me now. I'm not making lists of my friends and family, and I'm not having awkward conversations at the mall because I'm at that age where I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Who wants to have these awkward conversations to make extra money through network marketing? And some of these companies out there, they're all about, using the innovation and the tools and the technology, which is great. But a lot of you don't know how to do that. So when you get involved with a network marketing company, you're at the mercy of what they're teaching you. And what they're teaching you could be still making that list of your friends and family. And now, who do you know on social media? Who are you connected with? And reaching out to them. I don't do any outreach. I let my funnel system wean through everybody for me. So it's all through attraction marketing. If you like what you hear, you enter your email, you get the information, and then you either stick with me or you leave. And I don't have to deal with the rejection. When you unsubscribe, I just remove your email completely. I do a flush every now and then, but when you unsubscribe, the system stops sending you information. And that's okay. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But that's my point. I'm not dealing with any of the rejection for any of that. It's all about attraction marketing and automation. Automation. So how does this work in our online business? Well, when you buy your program, this is what I love about this. So I'm going to compare because I'm part of network marketing. It's an easy comparison for me. So when you join network marketing, you got to buy into either a membership for a year or you buy an expensive package. So it can range anywhere from $100 upwards of $1,500, $2,000 or more to join a network marketing company. It varies. And a lot of them offer different packages. So again, that's going to vary and it'll depend on you and what you can afford and what you want to do. So I am talking about network marketing. You can join anywhere from $100 upwards of thousands, and you have customers. You're making, when you sell product, you're making, 20, 30, 40% maybe. And, you know, it takes a while to rebuild that income to replace what you've spent. With this digital marketing program, you're getting a pre-built automated website that's going to be your moneymaker. And what are you promoting on that website? You're promoting the same program that you're taking. So you don't build the program. It's a digital product that's pre-built for you. You're taking it. And all it does is it teaches you how to do the attraction marketing on free social media platforms. You can go to free ad forms. It teaches you all of this stuff, but it teaches you how to market your landing page. And from there, you drive traffic to your landing page. And then as people opt in, they're in your email funnel. And that's where the magic happens. That's where they get the information and the education of how it works for free. And then when they get to the end, they get to pick the program that's going to best suit them. It could be $129 because you got your $29 Freedom Machine website that's pre-built. I paid $500 US to learn how to build it. You don't have to do any of that here. It's pre-built and given to you. Okay. So that's $29, but your program starts off at $100. And then you've got a $300 program, which has that one included plus more information. Then there's a $600 program. So it includes the other two programs plus added information. And then you've got the Legacy Builder program, which is the top program at $900 plus your $29 Freedom Machine website. And that teaches you everything in the lower programs and a lot more. It teaches you so much more. It teaches you how to add additional revenue streams, teaches you how to do proper affiliate marketing. It teaches you how to build your own digital product and market and sell it. It teaches you how to do your own online program if you so choose and how to properly market it. Hello, Gabby. Thank you for joining. And it will be another added revenue stream of how you can build community and have that paid as well and add another revenue stream. Thank you, Gab. And so nice to see you on here. Thank you for joining me. I love it. I love to see the engagement. Yes, send the hearts so that I know you're here. If you're on Restream, I've got two screens going here, so I'm looking back and forth. But let me know where you're joining from and if you have any questions or comments around the digital marketing. And yeah, so that's awesome. So that's why this program is so different from everything else. Because like I said, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on other programs that have only had increments and bits and pieces, where the Legacy Builder has it all. It has it all. It has everything included. And not to mention the free online community that you have access to. So when you have the free online community, you've got ongoing education and mentorship and meetings. And this is how I knew it wasn't a scam, because I've had people come on my posts that I do on social media and say, this is a scam, this is a scam. No, it's not a scam. And this is how I knew it wasn't a scam, because scammers take your money and run. And I don't take your money and run. I'm here to support you. You get access to the free community of tens of thousands of people that are doing the programs just like you are. And we're supporting each other. I've built some beautiful friendships with people all around the world, people I would have never have met otherwise, right? And that's how I met Gab. And I found out he was in Canada as well, was through the social media, through the community. Like, it's massive. And you get to build beautiful relationships because there's no competition. You don't have that worry. We are supporting each other in the best way we know how. We're inspiring each other. This is a business. You are a CEO of your own platform. When you buy into this, that freedom machine that you're paying $29 for, which is hella cheap, I got to say, like, that's your freedom machine. That's yours. When people buy from you, that money goes directly into your bank account like that. That's how it's so different. And that's why network marketing, you're only getting a percentage and you're getting the smaller percentage because the company has to manufacture, produce the products and deliver the services, whatever it is they have. They have to do all of that. Plus, they have to pay you out. So they need to hire people and they have to have corporate offices to manage all of this. With this business, it's master resale rights. So you have 100% profit because of an automated system that you're taught to make it your own. So it goes directly to your bank account. I was concerned about this being a scam when it was first presented to me. And I did my due diligence. And when you go searching online, there's a lot of BS on there. I got to tell you, there's a lot of BS on there. It blows my mind that some people will pay for a website just to post, right? 100% profit is awesome, right, Gab? Like, it's awesome because it goes straight to your bank account. Thank you for the support, my love. And that to me seemed too good to be true, but it's not too good to be true. You still have to work it. You still have challenges, but it's all fixable challenges. And your challenges are not reliant on anyone else. When you get involved with network marketing, if you don't have great leadership, it's easy to point the finger and blame them, right? You don't have that here. This is all about you and why you want extra cash, why you want extra money. Go to the link in my bio if you're here on TikTok. And when you enter your email, you'll get a free copy of the blueprint that's going to show you what we're all doing and how we're doing it. That part is free. Why wouldn't you go get it if you're even remotely interested in earning extra cash anywhere? Why wouldn't you go get that? That information, that part is free. It teaches you how this works before you buy. Like, where else do you get that before you buy? Like, usually you have to talk to somebody and ask them umpteen hundred questions. Well, when you opt in for the blueprint, not only do you get a copy of the blueprint that I email directly to you, but there's going to be a web page pop up with information on it explaining it all to you. We have a free webinar happening tomorrow. You're going to gain even more information on that webinar. We have a 30K and 90-day challenge happening right now. And you still have access to jump into that when you purchase your program. And why is that so important? Because when you start, you can hit the ground running. Learning and earning is what it's all about. And why are you learning to earn? Because it's that earning that's going to give you your time freedom back. It's going to give you the ability to have the lifestyle you couldn't have working your 9 to 5. Because if you were making the money, you probably didn't have the time to enjoy the money. And if you had not enough money and not enough time, then you're in the toilet. You're stuck, you're trapped, you're capped, you're strapped. And that was me. I was making just over 6 figures when I was working. So a lot of the times when I'm saying no to my child, it was because of time more than money. But I was still limited. 6 figures in this day and age is not a lot of money. And I get there's people making a lot less. I'm well aware and I get it. I started making minimum wage when I first started earning, so I get it. I haven't forgotten where I come from. So I totally get it. So if you're thinking, oh, you earn 6 figures, you don't know what it's like to earn minimum wage, I'm here to tell you I started making minimum wage. And I am a female that started in a male-dominated industry back in the 90s when HR didn't exist. So guess what? I had to have tough skin and deal with my own shit because there was no HR. So you're not dealing with a prissy little princess that has no clue how it works. I've made minimum wage. I get the trials, troubles, and the challenges that come. Hi, MK. Let me know where you're joining from. And it's important to know that it doesn't matter what you're making. If you're motivated, you figure it out. I always did. I was like, when I first started working, I'm like, I am not staying at this pay scale. I'm not. And I didn't because I chose not to. I was motivated not to. So I was motivated not to stay at minimum wage. I was not going to stay at minimum wage. And I didn't. I worked my way. It took me 30 years to make just over 6K a year. 30 years. So if you're working and you're earning and you decide that you want to jump into a program that's going to teach you everything you need to know in a step-by-step process, to be able to utilize free platforms, to be able to bring people in through attraction marketing so that you can earn 30K in 90 days and more. So people have in our community have earned six figures within 4 months, 6 months, 12 months. Some people have taken 2 years to earn six figures, but are you going to earn an extra six figures at your job right now? Most of you are not. And if you're already making it, you probably don't have time to enjoy it because you've got that job and you've got limited time availability. When I was working, I never had more than 3 weeks vacation out of 52 weeks a year. This business allows you to work from anywhere in the world as long as you have a phone, a computer, a tablet. As long as you've got that and internet, you are working. You can work 2 focused hours and enjoy the rest of your day. So yes, you can take your phone, your tablet down to the beaches of Cabo, Maui, wherever it is you want a vacation. It could be an Australian outback vacation. I don't care where it is you want to go, as long as you enjoy it. Work your 2 focused hours on internet and then take the day and enjoy it with your family for a solid month if you want. Do it for multiple months. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Can you do that in your job now? Probably not, because you have to come back and be present. It's tough right now in order for you to be able to have a lifestyle and the time you need for you and your family. And as I mentioned earlier, I have a child that has special needs. I didn't realize how important it was for me to be here until I actually had time. I was totally unaware of how much she needed and what she needed until I had my time back. And then the guilt and shame that came with that after I realized it, after she was 17 years old, realizing that she was just getting diagnosed with autism at that point. It was grade 8 when she was in grade 8. So how old would she have been then? 13, 14. She was diagnosed with the high social anxiety and select mutism. And I didn't know what select mutism was. When they told me she had select mutism, I'm like, yeah, she chooses not to talk, because I thought she was choosing not to talk. I had no understanding that she couldn't talk. Do you think it would have helped her for me to be present at that point in time? I can't change the past. That's the thing with time. You can't change what's happened in the past. And to feel guilty about what you didn't do and what you couldn't do at the time is crazy, but as humans, we do it. I sat in that for a while. I bawled my eyes out when she was diagnosed because I didn't know the signs. I didn't know to figure it out sooner. That hurts as a parent, to know that you failed your kids in helping them with their health and their mental health. That sucks. As you can tell, I still carry some of it. But time is something we can't get back. I cannot go back and relive her childhood now. I can't. But guess what? If you've got young kids, you are in a better position now than I was. So if you're motivated to earn some serious cash so you can have your time back and contribute to your family in a whole new way, where you can have money, learn and earn from your home in 2 to 3 focused hours a day. I always tell people, calculate for 3, especially in the beginning. because you're on a learning curve. You need to take time to learn, and then you've got to do your 2 hours of focused income activities. Seriously, like you have to work if you want this to work. This is not a get rich quick scheme by no means, but it is by far the best vehicle I have ever seen and found, ever. And it will probably stay that way for quite some time because it took Michelle quite a long time to be able to create it and to prove the system works. She made her first million in 17 months. It took her 17 months to hit $1 million. And last year alone, and she started this in September 2022. We're now in 2025. So in 3 years, last year alone, she hit $4 million using all of these strategies. And as she learns more strategies, she comes into the community and teaches them to us. Where are you going to get that from? Another digital program? I haven't seen it yet. I have a digital program that I'm getting up and running. It's not going to have that tied to it yet. Now that I know what I know and I'm learning what I'm learning, I just might have that tied to it before it's all said and done because I'm learning now how to do that. She's teaching us how to build communities and how to get paid within the community because we're giving so much value that people will want to pay to be in your presence, to get your knowledge, to get your understanding, to have your support, to have your motivation, your inspiration. That alone is worth $900. Seriously. I'm going to see if Natalie's still here. I'm going to see if she can join me. I know that you guys here on Restream won't see her, but I sent the invite. She's a fellow digital marketer and she's doing wonderful. And, I absolutely love her. Her and I are in a mastermind together and she is phenomenal. But we've all had our own struggles. Like as parents, we all have our own struggles. What are yours? What is your pain point that can be solved either with time or money or both? Because if you're struggling with your kids, then chances are you need more money to help them, or you need more time to spend with them, or you need both. For me, I needed both. So what are you going to do? Like what's going to be your motivator? What's going to be your inspiration to say enough is enough? Like those are the people I'm talking to. I'm talking to the parents that are working and are saying enough is enough. I don't love my career, or I love my career, but I have no time. I need to get that time back. You look at all the doctors and the nurses and the hours that they put in. Like it's insane sometimes, especially the nurses. Like they're like the punching bags of the medical industry. Like you couldn't pay me enough to be a nurse, but yet we need them. We need them and they love helping people, but they're burning out. They need time for self-healing, for their own physical bodies and vessel to heal because they're tapped, capped, and strapped in ways that you and I can't even imagine. So, this is not all about money. Money is just the vehicle. It's just a tool. It's what can the money do for you? What can you get and gain out of having the extra cash to free up some of your time and go down to part-time in that job? Or maybe you're like me and you don't want to go back to the job if you've been laid off. Like I'm so motivated to not go back to that job mentality and that working environment because of the toxicity of all the places I've worked. And when I consider these are just companies, they're just doing the best they can. But I'm a number. You're a number. You need to understand and grasp that you're a number. And as long as you're a number, you're replaceable. If you're like me and you're making the most money out of everybody in the company with your title and things get slow, you're going to be the first to get let go. Daryl Hannah, I love Daryl, but he said it himself. He got let go, I don't know, over a year ago now. And he recently ran into his boss who he thought would never get fired. He was let go. You're not safe. And if you think you are, oh my God. Natalie, honey, I'm going to see if I can get you to come on. Oh, there you go. You got it. Perfect. Now, you guys on Restream might not be able to see or hear her, but she is with me in the mastermind. Are you there, Natalie? I'm going to turn up my volume here so I can try to hear you.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Hi.
Can I call you up? I don't know how to get you to join me side by side. I don't know. How do I show up on you? I've never done this before.
I don't either. This is the first time I've done this.
Oh, there we go. I made you big and I'm small. That's fine.
Oh, well, geez.
I'm glad you joined me. I wanted you to come on because you and I mentioned to everybody that you and I are in the mastermind together. And I'm also on Restream here. So they're not going to be able to see you. I don't know if they can hear you or not. But we're in the mastermind together. But even that aside, what was your biggest contributing factor that had you buy into the online digital program?
Well, so the biggest contributing factor for me is just the fact that you could do it on your own schedule around your family's time. Like, I had been looking to get a second job, but because I was like, okay, I got to make some more money.
Right.
But I have a kid. He was 2.5 over the summer when I first heard about all of this. And I was like, okay, you know, we have to pay for preschool. We got to do some repairs to the house, that kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, we got to make some more money. Yeah. My husband's income is set. So I was like, all right, it's on me. What am I going to do? So I started looking at second jobs, right? And everything, you know, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try real estate. And everyone I know who does real estate pretty much talked me out of it. Because they were
I've done it.
It's really competitive. It's really hard. You know, they told me all the problems basically. And I was like, this doesn't sound good. And also there's no flexibility, right? Like, you have to be available. Well, there is flexibility, but you have to be available weekends and evenings and everything. And I was like, okay, that's not going to work.
When you're starting off, your time is not your own.
It was discouraging to think about getting a second job and having to pay a daycare center like half or more of what I was going to make. And then it was like, okay, so I'm going to net like 10 or 20 bucks an hour to have somebody else raise my kid and spend all my time away. Yeah. I have to find something. Yeah. And so then a friend started doing digital marketing, and I had never done anything online before. And I was like, what? This sounds too good to be true.
Right.
And she's like, no, you get all your work activities done in 2 hours a day. Like, you get all this training and they show you exactly what to do. You get 100% profit, and they teach you these high income skills, like how to make $900 a day. And I was like, what?
Right.
And I was like, no, you're being scammed. And she's like, no, it's legit. And so I was like, okay, well, this sounds crazy, but I'm going to watch and wait and see what happens. And this was a good friend of mine, you know, and someone who I talk to all the time. Yeah. And she made her money back within 10 days. And I was like, okay, well, that's amazing, but that's one. And then she made another sale. And then she made another sale. And she said all she was doing was just doing what they told her to do.
In the program.
And I was like, okay, so I watched for 2 months to make sure that it was going to be consistent and see if that she was really doing it. And then I was like, okay, I got to do this. Because once I knew, like, I listened to a couple of webinars, and once I just kept hearing these words in my head, I could not stop thinking about it.
No.
And I was hearing people's stories in the webinars, and which we have once a week, by the way. Yeah, sometimes twice a week, and they're really fun. You get all your questions answered. Yeah. So I was hearing all these stories, right? And this one girl came on. I don't even remember her name, and she said that she was hesitant to start, right? And she said she had all these fears. She said she was like, well, what if it doesn't work for me? Like, what if I'm going to fail? You know, I failed at this, I failed at that. You know, like, people don't like me. They don't want to buy from me, blah, blah, blah. And literally it was verbatim that what I was hearing in my head. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. And I think I bought that night.
Yeah. And I was in a similar boat. So I am very analytical. So I was like you. I was like, this had to be a scam. It's too good to be true. 100% profit. How's that possible? So when I got all those questions answered and I realized the community that you get, and that proved it wasn't a scam, because scammers take your money and run. And here's an online community that's growing with regular meetings, mentor meetings, training, like crazy amount of information flowing through this community. I knew it wasn't a scam through that. And for me, I wanted to make sure I didn't go back to the job because of the stress and the anxiety. And like you say, being away from home. My child was older, so I wasn't paying for daycare anymore. But I was explaining to everybody how she has these mental challenges, and it's hard to put work first in front of her when she's struggling. Even today, I'm on the call today and I'm getting text, Mom, I'm struggling. Like if I was at the job, I wouldn't be able to cater to her the way I was able to cater to her today.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking too. You know, it was like, that was a factor for me, you know, in a different sense, of course. But what I remember from my childhood is work was the most important thing to my parents, right? Yep. It was like, it was above all else. We got to work, we got to pay money, or we got to make money, we got to pay the bills.
Yep.
Right?
Keep the roof over the head is what we always heard. We got to keep the roof.
Before
everything else.
Before us. Yep. That came before health. That came before sleep. 100%. Everything. And I was like, okay, I need to show my kid that there's a different way. And because I can tell him all day long, but I need to actually do it so that he sees. Yeah. Because a lot of people don't do that, you know?
No, I'm going to bring Gab on as well because he's in the community. This is
yay, awesome. Have fun.
Hi, Gab. Are you there? He could be still disconnecting. But yeah, like 100%. And that's the freedom and flexibility is insane. And that's what blew my mind first and foremost.
Yeah.
So he must be having internet challenges. He jumped off. But
he's all, oh no.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, no. Thank you for joining me. I love getting to hear your story, and you know, I love how we support each other. Oh, he's back on again. I'm gonna see if I can get him to add.
Yeah. That's such a crazy thing to me. That was one thing I was actually really surprised about, at how supportive and helpful everyone in the community is, because they really just want you to do your best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then another issue for me, I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I was just having trouble juggling everything, right? Like,
yes,
I do most of the housework, I take care of the kid, and then I work too. And the stress was getting to me, right? And I was like, how can I make more money? Like, I need to make more money, but I can't possibly spend any more time because I already like couldn't keep up with everything. And
yes,
it had gotten to the point where I was having insomnia and I was having headaches, and I was like, this is too much.
Yep.
And so I was like, how am I going to make more money without spending more time?
Right. And I talk about that a lot, being tapped, capped, and strapped, because I felt that pain too. Like, I was working away from home over 55 hours a week and sometimes more.
Wow. Yeah, that's so much. And then like you come home and it doesn't stop.
No.
You still have to do everything that needs to be done at the house. Plus you have to like prep to get ready for the next week because it comes so quickly.
It does, yeah. Yeah, your time is not your own when you're working full time. And some of the stats I often bring up as well is that if you're working full time, you're on average spending 70% of your time at your job. And I always reference, like, are these people at your dinner table?
Wait, say that again. For some reason, I'm hearing you kind of muffled.
Oh, so 70% of people who are working full time, they're spending 70% of their time at work. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, these are people that are not sitting at your dinner table. They're not your main priority people, but that's where you're spending the bulk of your time. But like you said, we were programmed that you have to work first and foremost to put the roof over your head, supply the food on the table, and keep a running vehicle to get to and from work. Like, that's how we were programmed. It's not that we're wrong. We were just programmed wrong. And our parents did the best they could.
There was another way.
No. And our parents,
thought, if you want more money, you just work more.
Right. But that's all our parents had available to them. That's all they knew. So in their minds, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because the poor man is constantly trading time for dollars, where the rich man learned to leverage. And as a parent for decades,
how many of you have thought about this, right? I also feel that work kind of changed. Like, the rules about work and life were different for our parents.
Absolutely.
And we're sort of still trying to adhere to those rules, but the game has changed.
The game has very much changed. The game started changing, so I'm going to date myself. when I got into the workforce, technology and computers were starting to take hold, and it wasn't like there was no messaging, there was no texting back then.
Yeah.
We still had thermal fax paper, okay?
Oh my gosh.
So back then technology was taking hold, and all we ever heard is that technology is going to make your life easier. But that's how the game changed. It didn't. It made us work more, made us work harder, because companies learned that with technology, if we get our people leveraging technology and working harder with technology, we can make more money. So we became slaves to the job. We're back in the day when our parents were working, it was effort and dollars. But as technology took hold, it was more effort for the same dollars. So we became mentally drained and burnt out. And my husband is a physical labor kind of guy. And he used to say to me, I don't know how you're so tired sitting at a desk all day. And I said, well, you sit at a desk all day and you burn brain cells, and then you come back and talk to me how it's not the same as your physical labor. And when he got laid off one time and he had to sit on the computer and apply for work all day, he looked at me and said, I'll never say another word.
Yeah.
Like the technology just killed him.
I used to work in schools, and having to sit at a desk and be in front of a computer all day, man, it drains you.
Yep. And I worked in customer service. So I was on a computer all day long. And it didn't stop. Like, it was just the more you did and the more efficient you become, the more they wanted you to do it. And then they're like, well, train people on your systems. All of a sudden now I'm the go-to, and teaching people to leverage what I've learned to leverage. And it just doesn't stop. They just pile more and more on you, to the point where, well, when I left my last job, I was so stressed that it was starting to affect my health. And they didn't care. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They knew it. The doctor put me off when we were tapped out at one point, and not leaving there till 9-10 o'clock at night because we were so busy, because the business took off and they didn't expect it to last. So they never got us any help or anything. It wasn't until we threatened to leave that they finally got us some help. But at that point, the doctors wanted us off on stress leave. So, and I said, the president looks at me. The president finally got wind of it and came and visited us. And she says, Ann, you don't look good. I said, I got a doctor's appointment Thursday, and you may or may not see me after that.
Yeah, right.
But they didn't they didn't care. The
good news is that there's a way out, right?
Now there is a way out, yes. And this is exactly what I've been telling people. We've got to get secondary revenue streams coming. And, I've tried network marketing. I've tried different things, and this has been by far the best vehicle I've ever seen. Wow. By far.
This was the first thing I had done. But all my life, I had older relatives telling me, like, you can't depend on the government. You can't depend on Social Security. Like, you have to look out for yourself in your old age, And I mean, also in our young age, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I just feel like a job is not cutting it right now. You have to have a side hustle.
Yep. And to get another job, you're just in burnout mode. So yeah, for sure. Excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I love that you were able to jump on. That's awesome. I hope the Restream could capture your voice. I've got my microphone right under my phone.
Thanks for the invite.
Yes. Thank you for joining. Take care, my love. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you all soon. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So yeah, I hope you guys could capture that. That was Natalie. She was on the TikTok on the phone. So I had my microphone as close as I could get it. I hope you were able to capture that. This is going to be up live. So if it didn't, I apologize, but definitely join me. Like, I'd love to get your questions answered and be able to help you the best way I know how. If this is not for you, then it's not for you. I'm never going to pressure you to do anything that you don't want to do. I don't want to work with people that don't want to do this. I'm looking for people that are motivated. I want to talk to the parents that are tapped, capped, and strapped and ready to do something else to help with that. I don't recommend quitting your job. Like, don't do crazy, irrational things, but you can add this to your current job for just a few hours a day, like 2 focused hours a day. Take your phone and learn while you're traveling to and from work. That's when you get your education in. You build these 2 hours and 3 hours around your already busy day. Amy worked 2 jobs. She was working 70 hours a week as a single mom. She was burning out, so she couldn't afford to burn out because she was the only income provider and she was working 2 hours. So what she would do is take her phone, and while she's getting ready in the morning, she would have training playing in the background. She would have the learning going on then. And then on her breaks, she would do and prepare her posts throughout the day. Like she worked her 2 hours throughout the day. She would do things in between jobs, in between meals, after work, before she went to bed, she'd plan some stuff for the next day. So yes, it can be hectic in the beginning, but my God, how else are you going to free up 70% of your time? Like I said, network marketing, I love my network marketing company, but it is a lot of work up front. It is a lot of work. So even through the attraction marketing with my network marketing, it does require that extra added educational piece because we're talking about health products and people don't take that stuff lightly. They're not going to buy on a whim. You're not buying a pack of gum. You're buying a product that's going to help your body heal. So you want to know what you're putting in your body. So I use attraction marketing to draw them in so I don't have to deal with the rejections. I don't have to deal with the massive DMs and texting and phone calls and all the craziness. I still have to do some calls with this product just because of the nature of it, but not near as much as I would if they had me doing it traditionally. There's no way. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do network marketing the traditional way that they used to teach us to do it. And I'm not making lists of my friends and my family, and I'm not having these awkward conversations in the mall. I'm just not doing it. I'll use the teaching that I got from this program to do the attraction marketing. And it's only from those people that land in my funnel to learn more that I will reach out at that point and see if they have any questions after they get all the information, just like this. I've set that up just like this so that they can get educated on all the different pieces so that they can learn before they make a decision. And when I follow up, if they're ready to make a decision, then I help walk them through all of that because it's not as simple as this. Like with this, you're picking a program, you're learning. So if you want to get into the webinar tomorrow, go to the www.inspiredwithann.com, enter your email. You'll get a copy of the blueprint and you'll get the link for the webinar tomorrow. And also the 30-day challenge in the community. When you buy the program, you'll get instant access to that 90-day challenge. And that challenge is to help you jumpstart your learning in your business. And it's all that is just short videos every day. Like Michelle really hones in what she says and how she says it to utilize your time and make the most of your time so that you're learning and earning quickly. And that's all we want for you is to be able to gain back your time freedom. So if you want to learn more about that, jump into the website, enter your email. Let's get you educated so that you can make a decision, the best decision for you and your family. I'm only interested if you're motivated and inspired because this is your company. All I can do is help guide you. I can be there to answer your questions, but ultimately your success relies on you, not me. So let's make sure that you are getting all the information you need so you can decide what's best for you and your family. I didn't need somebody to convince me of anything, and I'm not here to convince you of jack. If I have to convince you, this is not for you. I can tell you that right now. If there's convincing that has to happen, don't do it. You need to be motivated. You need to be ready. That's who this is for. So if you're ready for that, go to the link, www.inspiredwithann. Let's get you educated. Let's get you started. Let's get you in that webinar tomorrow. Let's get you on that 90-day challenge.